For those that are new here, hello, welcome. This is a walking podcast, so that means you gotta walk as we talk. For those that are not new here and your regular listeners, hello, I appreciate you and I'm happy that you're here and I'm always happy to be here, even though it takes me a little bit of effort to get my ass in the seat and to press record. I don't know why. I actually been thinking about that lately. It's just sometimes it's just hard to just get ourselves to do the things that we like. Not even that we just have to do or should do. It's like the things that we enjoy. Like I love podcasting. Come on, guys. You know I love to hear myself talk. I love it. But sometimes I'm just like, oh, I don't feel like it. I just don't feel like it. But I do it anyways. Because that's what we do. We do it anyways. So, what's been on my mind? Well, first of all, it's been a really great week for a couple of reasons. I just had the fourth round of the Walking Away from Weed group, and that was incredible. A really big group. It's growing every month, and it was just an incredible group of people and such good energy, and it was great. You know, they all walked away feeling empowered, and I also added some more things to the program. You know, as an entrepreneur, as a businesswoman, as a mentor, you always have to be learning and taking feedback and improving your programs, your systems, your community, all of that stuff. So I feel like I applied some new stuff to the program and it really worked out nicely. I've also had some people helping me on the side too, which has been really nice because this is the first time that I've ever been able to really collaborate with other people and have them help me build my brand, my business, my program. So the group was amazing. And if you are listening to this right now and you were in the group, I love you. I am just grateful that you took a chance, and I can't wait to continue our work together. I am hosting the next Walking Away from Weed group, and we can talk about at the end of the episode because it's really not what the episode is about right now. But I do want to talk about something that's been coming up for me, and maybe it's been coming up for you as well. You know, the more that I get into this business, the more that I work with people, the more that I create a big community. It's like almost like the more eyes on me, or the more money that comes in, or the more people that come in, or the more the transformations that happen, like the more these like certain beliefs just keep popping up for me. And it's interesting because when you take away all the things in your life that you used to use, you know, the drugs, the alcohol, the relationship, the distractions, and then you come face to face with yourself. And then all of a sudden, you think you're doing, you're like ahead of the game, right? And in some ways you are, but then you kind of get this pause of like, oh shit, I still have that belief. And something that I've been learning about myself is that I have a real fear of rejection. Like, real big fear of rejection. I was thinking, I'll never forget, I was at my, in Michigan, this was like a month after I walked away from weed and my relationship ended, and I was sitting outside with my brother and his girlfriend, and they were like, "You're scared to fail." And I was so triggered when they said that to me. I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "You're scared of failure." And my response obviously was defensive at first. And then I said to them, "I don't know if I'm scared to fail. I don't even know if I've ever really tried." And when I said it out loud, it was the same exact thing as they were saying. Right. You're afraid to fail. I mean, if I think about my life, all the things up to what I'm doing now, I never really gave it 100% in all my relationships because I was always high. I never really done the internal work. Everything that I had ever started, a book or speaking or whatever it was, a program, like I always fell back into something that was destructive that took me further and further away from being successful. So I was destructive before I even had the opportunity to succeed. So I guess in itself, that is me afraid of failing. It's like I'm going to fuck it up first so, I don't have to fail and it can be fucked up. And so now that I'm in this place and I'm working with all different kinds of people and I have this community and I'm doing well and my program is seeing so much success and I'm feeling good, it's like I'm even more afraid now. And these stories keep coming up for me. Like, I can't make this money or I can't create these programs, or I can't help this person. And they're not real stories. They're just stories that beliefs that I have stuck within, and I'm working so hard to reprogram them because I don't really actually believe that. Like fundamentally, I don't believe that. Like when I stand in front of people and I speak, when I podcast, when I create, like I'm super confident in myself. It's what happens behind closed doors more so. You know what I mean? Like, once you're in the situation, you're golden, but it's like the selling or the marketing or the feeling you have like inside of like, I don't know if I can do this again, or is this going to work? And it's like this internal battle. And it can show up externally too. And I'm working on it because I feel good. And I feel like this is the right path. And maybe you can relate to the things that I'm saying. And I think it's an opportunity for all of us to realize that we can be healed and have things to work on. But that real fundamental, real beliefs that are stuck within us, they will show up if they are unhealed. If you are triggered by something, or you have a pause, or you have a reoccurring thought, like that is a sign. Like, let's go deeper. Your body and your brain, your nervous system is asking, like, let's go deeper. We're not done here. So I'm becoming more self-aware, and I'm taking a step back so I can take a step forward, right? And we all get in our own way sometimes. And I did the same thing, I got in my own way. I sort of like, got my own way with my gut stuff too. Like I was just eating like shit. It was like I was punishing myself before I could even succeed. And when I think about that fear of failure, it is so true. It's like I really didn't have a fear of failure because I did, but like I didn't even try. So I always thought like I'm not afraid to fail because I haven't even tried, but not trying is failing. I mean, I'd rather try something and fail. I don't even think it's failing. It's just a lesson, but it's an important lesson. And I can see this across the board for me, like relationships and, all of this stuff. And it's so much better than it was, right? And I want to work on all this stuff because the more that I heal and I evolve, the more my programs evolve, the more the community evolves, the more I do for you. So yeah, rejection. Damn. We reject ourselves all day. That's the rejection I'm talking about. The beliefs that come in and tell you that you can't do this, or you can't make that money, or you can't have the body, or you can't do all this shit. And then you have the actions to back up the rejection. So it's just another story of like, told you. It's not real. It's only real if you make it real, or you keep saying it to yourself. And yeah, I've been really working on it, and I feel like I'm taking some good steps forward. I also, with all this gut healing stuff too, and like really taking control of what I'm eating, I've never eaten this healthy in my life. And it's not about the food or the weight. I mean, obviously I like to look a certain way, I like to feel a certain way, but it's about just leading yourself. It's another version of leading yourself, of like this story that you have where it doesn't matter what you eat or what you look like or what it does matter, because everything you do matters. Every belief matters, every thought matters, every action matters, everything you put in your mouth and your body matters, because it's all accumulation to how you lead yourself, and how do you lead other people if you can't lead yourself. So I'm working hard because I am already leading people, and every time I level up in my life or my career, it's a sign to me like, keep leveling up. You got to keep digging deeper. And even just eating healthier and paying more attention to what I'm putting into my body, it's just made me feel more powerful. And so if I can control that, I can control my thoughts. And maybe I can't control everything all at once, but I can sure control what my thoughts do and what actions I take because of them. Oh, I just hit myself. Oh. So triggers they're important because they show you what needs to be healed. Limiting beliefs are important because they show you what needs to be worked on. And those are good things. That's becoming more self-aware. So if you're listening to this and you're like, shit, why do I still feel this way? I don't think it's just be like, shit, I still feel this way. Okay, great. What can I learn? What can I do? How do I go deeper? How do I heal? How do I evolve? Not, oh God, this is horrible. I'm never going to change. it's really looking in and being like, where does this come from? Am I afraid of rejection? Am I afraid of this? Am I afraid of that? What can I control? Blah, 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 all that stuff. So that's where I'm at right now. You're like, wait, what? This is it? It is it for right now. I got some things coming in store for the podcast too. Some podcast subscriptions are going to be coming up. Things are going to change a little bit. I've got my Walking Away from Weed group. The next one starts May 23rd. Get in it. Join it. It's going to be incredible. If you are suffering and you are stuck in a loop, and I know that my podcast and my videos are super helpful for you, and if you've taken steps forward because of them, that's amazing. But I've been in this game long enough to know that there is more here. You got to go deeper. And so if you find value out of the things that I say just from this podcast, you will find so much more value in working together and being a part of a group, because it's so much more. And I always tell people that, like, I love that you love my videos and I love that you love my podcast, and whatever day you are on in your journey of walking away from weed, or whatever day you're on from in your transformation of life, there's always more to learn. There's always going to be things that come up. And this is what I go over in the program, and people work with me. It's like, do you have to have the right coping skills? You have to know what's going to come up. And just because you're doing really great now doesn't mean that there's never room or isn't room to do even better. So if you're thinking about it, whatever day you're on, day 0 of walking away from weed, day 1, day 8, a week in, 2 weeks in, a month in, there's always opportunity to meet new people and to educate and to empower and to learn more. And I encourage every single person to do that for themselves and to put themselves in a room or a position where they are doing that. Because I look at it like we should have a bunch of tools in our box. Not just like, oh, I have this and now I'm done. It's like, how do I keep moving, right? Like for me, I work with different people all the time. Even, it's like I don't just stop because something is healed or because I figured it out. I'm like, okay, how do I go deeper? Then that's how you grow. So May 23rd, spots are limited. I would love to have you in the group. It's an incredible opportunity to move forward, to take a step forward. And it's just the first step. It's not the final step. And you get videos, and there's a replays and a group chat and a workbook, and it's going to be amazing. So if you're struggling, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you take that step forward and reprogram your belief system and to really understand what's going on here, the real stuff underneath the thing that you're using. That's invaluable. It really is. We also have a lot of fun. So you can message me. You can go to my website. You can email me. You can DM me on Instagram or TikTok. And I would love to get you set up. Space is limited. We start May 23rd and the 4th and 25th. So that's it for right now. And if you're a new listener, I'm glad that you took a walk with us. And if you're an old listener and you got to get a longer walk in, go walk for an extra 10 minutes. But I'm glad that you're here and I show up and you show up. And when we show up, we grow up. So don't let your rejection fear, or your fears of rejection stand in your way from putting yourself out there. Nurture yourself. Love yourself. Become more aware of what's going on. Lean into the discomfort. Step away from the distraction. And as always, I love you and keep taking small steps forward.